Welcome back to Full Circle. How you're doing? Let us know where you're watching us from. Be part of the conversation. Send in your opinion, your comments, your questions. 111 That is our SMS line. It's going to cost you a shilling. Switch TV KE on Instagram. Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We are going to get into a very interesting book review. It's time for Book Circle. And the book today is Devote or Divorce. When you hear that, what comes to mind really? What does? Looking at what is inside the book throughout the conversation that we'll be having. And this is a book by Grace Barbara. Welcome to the show, Grace. You look very colorful. Minda kuona kando after show.
Tunafaa tuongee. Kabisa.
Devote or Divorce. What was the inspiration behind this? It's very thought-provoking.
I know.
Yeah, very thought-provoking.
Personal experience was the inspiration behind it.
Okay, what was going on?
I went through a divorce, and this is a story that has been under wraps for many years that I'm about to unveil. But I'm like, okay, Jesus, help me.
He has okayed it.
He has okayed.
He has okayed it.
Yeah, so it was a very short marriage, 6 months actually.
6 months?
But it felt like 67 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Had you guys dated for long?
A year.
Okay.
We dated for a year, then planned for the wedding. Then it happened. So, but one thing I would like to say, especially to people who are dating or want to get married,
Yes.
Don't paint over the red flags.
Ah, okay. We do
Because there were so many red flags, but I was just painting green over them. Go.
It's okay.
Yeah, there were so many hiccups, so many bumps, so many potholes, but you're thinking, hey, what will people say? Then I was like a church girl, he's a man of God. So you're like, hey, turning back is a bit hard.
Yes.
So finally we got married. Actually, on the day of the wedding, even the red flags now are like 20.
Oh, no. On the day itself?
On the day itself.
Aren't we supposed to be honeymooning?
Where? On the day itself, that morning, my wedding gown was switched at the dry cleaners.
At the K?
Yeah. Then the cars that were supposed to come pick me up, the people who had given in their cars changed in the morning. Then the caterer, the kid got sick or something.
And?
So we had to look for another caterer.
In the morning?
In the morning of the wedding. Then anyway, mambo mingi tu. Then
did you get your dress?
Eventually I got my dress.
Just checking.
Eventually I got my dress. Thank God the dry cleaners knew me well.
Okay.
So, and they knew who had picked the other dress, and the dress that had been brought to my house was also a different one. So they had to run back, call the other client, say, hey, you carried the wrong gown. So we were two brides, I'm sure, in disarray that morning. Then, you know, the way it's usually the ladies' side that stop you from going to church. They chelewesha you,
yes,
or bring more tea, more lessons,
yes,
more money,
yes,
more what. As we were waiting for the groom's side to come, they didn't come. So we are waiting. My aunties had sung till all the songs are finished. They drank all the tea. We sat. Church is supposed to be at 10. We are hearing hoots at 3 p.m.
Because what happened?
Just red flags.
Okay, wow.
I had so many hours to work out.
Yes.
Enough.
So many chances.
But sikusikia. Asiyesikia la mkuu.
3 p.m. mkaenda mkashikanishwa.
3 p.m. So from our house to church is a 15 minutes drive. For some reason it was 1 hour. Paka niliona mse wa miwa nikachukua miwa. Makeup ikae.
Ukakula. Wena gauni yako.
Bride na miwa. Natoa tu stress kwa hiyo miwa. 1 hour. So when we arrived, even the pastor didn't want those things of siju your matching, siju what. It's just like, bridal match, bridal party, go and stand there. You walk in, let's start. It was like a disastrous wedding. Huh? Then, to add salt to injury, when it was my turn to say the vows, the mics went mute. Sema kukataa kusikia.
Like
I hope someone is
God
listening
was
to me.
so loud.
God was loud, like, hey,
But
loudspeaker.
tunataka kuambiwa na
But
big
I'm like,
voice,
hey, I'm
tunataka
getting
kuona
married
burning
to a
bush.
man of God.
Oh my
My
God.
life is going to change. I thought. So, when he said the vows,
It was
mics
good.
were good.
Yako?
When the vicar is talking, mics are okay.
Yes.
And comes to I, Grace Barbara, mute.
No Grace Barbara here.
Hakuna. So, the time for the vows, the time for the rings, my mic just went mute. And it's the same mic, but on my turn, it would go mute.
Sounds like a movie, Grace.
I know. But I had to do events and wedding planning course after that. I was like, hey,
I have to
need to
save
help
another
someone.
bride.
Yes. And I've been doing that. So, anyway, to cut the long story short.
Why are we cutting you short?
See, we enter into the marriage.
Oh, okay, Sawa, let's get in.
No. Okay, let me add more salt to injury. Now we
Okay.
have already added salt. What can we add?
Oh my God.
I don't know, pepper maybe.
Yes.
So that evening, see, we were supposed to travel out of town because we were having another wedding in his town. It was a cross-cultural marriage. So we were going to his village to do another wedding that caters for his people who couldn't come and his church, because his church was out of town. But we were supposed to travel that night. The car that was supposed to take us also.
Are you seeing my face?
I think I should own a car company to help people. Then so that car, the person actually just changed their mind at the reception. I was like, Barbara, I'm sorry, but I have to use my car, so you can't go with it. So like, okay. So you know what we had to use? We had to use the shuttle that had brought his grandmother, his aunties, gone out of town 7 hours after wedding. We traveled the whole night. Aya, nikasema gaifa fare urekere. I mean, what is this? So we fikared at around 3-4 a.m. So you just have a few hours and then go for the other service now, for the other wedding. So we did, that one was, I mean, it's in the village, so there was whatever drama was there was minimal.
Okay.
I'd already passed through the worst. I'm thinking, what am I even doing here? So I was still thinking exit.
On your wedding day?
The second wedding now, I'm thinking, sija consummate bado, so I can still run and I'm valid.
Yes.
Where? Then just that thing that just makes you stick there. Yeah. I stuck. Then so after that wedding, we were supposed to go for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
So honeymoon, we had been given a treat by one of my uncles who deals with tours and whatever. So we had a very good package. So we were supposed to drive to another town where we can get a flight and then now go. The groom himself changed his mind.
No, he doesn't want a honeymoon.
No honeymoon.
See, we already have. We're not even paying.
We are not paying a dime. A dime. He just said, atuendi, huh?
Kwa nini?
Atingia kitchen upike ugali. I'm like, uliowa chef, ama? I'm like, what? Ati?
Ugali.
We are being waited for.
Yeah.
The flight is ready. The drivers are ready.
The hotel.
The hotel is ready. The camp is ready. All the places we were supposed to visit are ready. They are just ready for us. Hey? How that twisted. Only Jehovah knows. I think it was a kiboko, like God was saying, I told you.
But I told you. Didn't I delay the cars?
Yes.
Didn't I delay the
Didn't I mute you?
Didn't I mute you?
Didn't I mute you?
Oh my God.
So
honeymoon
if you're
didn't
engaged or you're dating,
don't
ignore. Paint red flags. Do not. Even if your heart is saying, I must get married, I'm 30, I'm chelewaing. No, chelewa tu. Rather than enter and be in tears. Because
Ugali.
from the word go now, it was just tears. Because I'm
I'm not
"The
going for my honeymoon. I
What
will
do you mean
cry.
you're not going for honeymoon? And then you have kept yourself. I was these two church girls who have kept themselves till wedding day. You're like, huh? So I kept myself for cooking ugali. Excuse me.
Pole.
So anyway, so we started life immediately like that. Then for the first 2 weeks, it was nice, bad, boring, disgusting, annoying. All those emotions mixed, but it was a bit better. It was the best part, those 2 weeks.
The 2 weeks.
With those descriptions.
Okay.
They were, they were the better part. The best part, actually. Excuse me. Then there was, it was that time for elections. So you see, we are already different cultures.
Yes.
So me, I was extreme on this culture and him
Extreme on the
So we
other
had
one.
our people.
But we have God.
Here we have.
See, we are from
I'm
sisi wa
telling you,
kanisa,
we are
aren't you
what to a
supposed to be
church.
one?
Lakini mi na support huyu ana support huyu na
Okay.
iko cut.
Katikati kabisa.
So we were even fighting in elections.
Wow.
Ile time KICC it went dark.
Yes.
And results favored now me and like him. Hey, we started fighting. You see, I told you my people will win. No, it's my people who will win. So even now, those cultural differences started creeping in.
Okay.
And it was disastrous. Then, that Ishad, it was announced. Then he told me, it was a December wedding. So now, he said, as a what? As a habit, he normally goes for prayer and fasting for the first 40 days in a year, every year. That's what he does. So I didn't have a problem with that. I do that myself, but not at the beginning of the year. So we were like, okay. So I'm thinking, since we are a couple,
we'll go together.
We'll go together. So I'm like, so what do I need? What do I need to pack? Is it a cold place? Because I've never gone to the prayer center he was going to. I'd never gone to that area. So I was like, what do I need to pack? And it's like, no, you're not going. It's a personal thing. So I'm like, So I'm going to stay here for 40 days by myself in a new city, new place, new neighborhood, alone. So like, okay, then let me go to Nairobi. I go back, stay with my folks at least, my people. You, when you're done, on the 40th day, as you're coming back, I also
come back,
drive down. So it's like, no, you're married, you don't go back home, and it's too soon. What will people think? And I'm like, yeah, by the way, it's too soon. What will people think? But in my head, I was like, utakuwa hapa. The moment you go, I also go. Because how do I stay here? I do not know anyone. Higher. So, he left. The day he left, post-election violence.
And we're going to take a very short commercial break. This is still Book Circle, guys. Devote or divorce. Based on Barbara's personal story. We are coming back after this very short commercial break. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali, still with Grace Barbara in the building. We're talking about the book Devote or Divorce. And it was like, all I did was ask one question. One. But here we are on a journey to divorce, 6 months in, very short marriage.
Yes.
And post-election violence imefanyika. You're already in marriage, na yeye ameenda na uko peke yako.
Ameenda niko peke yangu.
Yes.
Then I'm in a neighborhood I'm not supposed to be known I'm there.
Okay.
So everyone was calling me and telling me, run to the nearest police station. I'm telling them I don't even know where it is. And I can't ask.
Yes.
Because the moment you ask, you reveal. So I stayed in the house. I locked everything. put an extra padlock at the outside of the gate, the main now to the house, so that it looks like there's no one. Switched off everything and blocked. Thank God I had dark curtains. So the only light I used to have was the TV light. And I had to be very careful, and it was always on mute, because there had to be no evidence that there's a person of my tribe in that neighborhood.
Yes.
So, and there were chaos. I would hear people saying, na shule mwenye aliolewa kwa hii nyumba ni wa huko. And I would be like, oh, Jesus. You know, you pray all the tongues that you can. But anyway, we sailed through the 40 days, the post-election violence and all that. I stayed indoors. I actually became mweupe. I was shocked. I was like, kumbe there was hope of becoming light
skin.
without bleach.
Yeah.
Huh? So anyway, fast forward. So he comes back from the prayer mountain, and he's like, how was it? I'm like, scary, quiet, nini. So, and then he's like, we need to go to the clinic. I'm like, for what? It's like, I need to have babies immediately. I'm like, you don't get them from the clinic.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm going to check if you're already pregnant. Like, hey?
Oh.
You've been away for 40 days. You're 2 weeks yenye ilikuwa.
Yes, chaotic.
Haya. I'm like, huh? Then he said one statement that was disastrous. Actually, I can never live with a woman who is barren. So I was like, hey?
Wow.
So umetoka mlimani wewe? You could have told God that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me.
I am not my own creator.
So I'm like, where? Okay. So we went clinic, of course, there was nothing. We went home. Now physical abuse began. Why are you not pregnant? I'm like, do I control pregnancy?
Do I impregnate myself?
So those 40 days I should have been osmosis. You come back, I'm 3 months pregnant.
Jesus.
Anyway, staying a little bit, the mom comes to visit. I'm busy hosting, I'm excited, nini, mother-in-law has come. You're doing all the things you want to do to impress. And then she starts asking, tunakunywa wimbi lini? So I'm like, in my head, uji ya wimbi tu ndo unataka. I go to the kitchen, I prepare uji for wimbi, I serve with all the love and joy. Ndio your mom. And she pours it. Yes, sitaki hii wimbi yenye haina mtoto. I'm like, huku ni wapi nilijileta?
What?
Yes. Sitaki wimbi haina mtoto. Kwani kijana wangu aliniletea tasa?
No, to your face.
Then I was like, I have never even heard somebody being called like that out loud. And you hear people saying, out on your face. First you pour my wimbi, then you call me that big name. Hey? I was like, son, mother, I've been discussing the issue has to be a baby.
Yes.
So anytime I was in my days of a lady, it would be physical fights. That means you're not pregnant. Hey? I used to
Are we
escape.
still ministering?
Yes.
Bado kwa kanisa?
Church bado inaendelea, hata wajui nini inaendelea. And then my personality, at least before, I was very, 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 I still am to some extent, but very secretive. Something terribly bad can happen and I'll come and smile. So I'll go to church, say, Bwana asifiwe, Mungu ni mwema, ametulinda, ametuweka. Sa hiyo mgongo imegongwa. You're like, hiya.
What was the breaking point?
So now, what happened is one
because
time...
you're taking a lot.
Yeah. So I have to rush through this. Then one time I went to seek help in one of our mentors' home. And when we went there, I went before. He wasn't at home. I actually chomokad. Then told that pastor, you call him and tell him I'm here. Because I knew if I say I want to go, I wouldn't be allowed to go. So somehow God created an avenue. I escaped. So I went to that home, and no one knew. My mom didn't know. No one in my family knew what I was going through. The only person who knew was my BFF. And I told her to mute as possible.
Yeah.
To just tell God. Just the two of us said God. The rest just knew. And if you call me, I will laugh. I'm a very bubbly person. So we would laugh through. You don't know the hell I'm going through. So I went to that pastor, like, we need help. When he came, he came with two other pastors. And I don't know what he had told them. So when they sat there, the story changed.
True.
And it became, I am this mean wife. I've refused to give him children. I don't cooperate with him. I don't do what, I don't do what, I don't do what, I don't do what. I'm like, hey, I'm the one who was looking for help here. Now I've entered into the wrong place. What? Within that conversation, even the pastor who had gone to seek help from now switched sides. And they were all on his side. So I was like, hey, I'm alone.
Men?
No, the pastor was a lady. But I still love her and we are still good friends.
Okay.
But the way he came, she was easily...
Yeah.
I actually looked like very bad, like, hey, Goma. You know?
Oh my God.
So I was like, and he's this kind of people. Even now, if you meet him, you'll be like, Enya Barbara, he's this calm, composed, neat, katrauza kaline, kashati kaline, hair. Way! So you look like the trouble one because you're the bubbly one, the one who wants raha, you want what? So anyway, fast forward, I saw angels many times protecting me, because if he couldn't reach where I was, because I was much smaller, he would throw whatever is near him towards me. So many times I saw angels standing before me and blocking it. Physically, if you just see an angel has come and done this, the stool misses, the rungu misses, whatever he would hold, there was always a block. So I told God, at least these angels is evidence you still care. Yeah. It's evidence you still think about me. I'm sorry, I never listened. Get me out. Get me out, and get me out in one piece, not in a casket. So one time we had an annual conference in the church. During that annual conference, I came to realize that he was actually seeing another lady who was in the worship team. And all those times he went to the prayer center, they used to go together. Even the first one of the wedding.
For 40 days? When you are alone?
He went like 3 times. Oh so I was like, it's coming during that conference, because I told God, just give me way of escape and enough muscle. So when he already had someone. All through I've been being beaten, all this. Kumbe, there's another one who's enjoying my honey. Then one of the pastors and then I was hosting. We had been blessed with a big house, big compound. I love decorating. I love colors, you can see.
Yeah.
So my house was beautiful, very beautiful. But he never appreciated it. Only people who used to come in would be like, are we in this town? Are we in this village? Because it's like you've brought Runda to a village.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one of the pastors asked me, if God were to do one thing for you, what would you ask him? I'd say, I'll tell him to take me out of this place. And he said, I saw it. Can I pray with you? I said, you are his friend, so I'm not sure which side you are. They said, no, I'm not talking as his friend. I'm talking as God's servant. God. And I believe I came for this conference for you. You look like you need to get out. Then he asked me one question. Did God tell you to come here? Come here. He muted my microphone.
Severally.
Severally. Then he said, if you don't make haste, I see a casket. I say, scatter. I will not die in the hands of a man. Hey, never. God forbids. So now we went. So he prayed, conference ikaisha, wakaenda. So all the men of God left. They were all staying in my house. So they all went. And then that night, the last man of God just to live like this, the whole atmosphere changed in our house. And it was like a different person had walked in. And I was like, something is not right. Something is definitely not right. So I'm praying in tongues and I'm walking around and I'm like, God, whatever it is, rescue me, save me, help me, deliver me. All those adjectives in a prayer. Then I was like, I had a very strong voice telling me, do not look at him in his eyes. Do not. Whatever happens, don't look at his eyes. So I'm like, how am I supposed to know where he is? Like, just zunguka with your eyes. So we were on the other side of the house. He held my hand. A grip, even with the walls, it had never been there before. This was a grip of, hey, it was a torturous grip. And he dragged me from one corner of the house, and we had a big house. One corner of the house, shwa, to the master bedroom, and he locked all doors. And I was like, Aya, ukuni kubaya. So then I want to look at him. Then I remember, do not look at his eyes. Do not look at his eyes. So thank God we had another TV in our bedroom. So I was using the screen of the TV to check where he is.
Yeah.
Because I knew now where I am, I don't have enough space to duck or do anything.
Yes.
So I'm dead. I'm looking at the window how I can pass. I'm looking at my ways of escape, and they are very minimal. So I'm looking at the TV screen. It was off, so it was easy to know where he's moving at. So he just ranted things. He's like, you barren woman, you can't even give birth. You can't even bring a son to this family. Barrenness was the cream of the fights.
You know how we have less than a minute.
Gaifafa.
I know.
So now,
when you talk about barrenness, and I'm just looking at how.
And now he should have waited.
Okay.
Look at God. Anyways. So at 1 a.m. in the night, so I didn't look at him in the eyes. Yeah. So he never hit me. Okay. But he was throwing things everywhere. And angels, I had 3 angels that were surrounding me. And they kept saying the same thing. Keep your eyes. Don't look into his eyes. So, I have big eyes. So, ningeangalia tu hivi ngekani madharau. And it would have provoked maybe. So anyway, your program is already over and my story is just quarter. Then
we can always continue.
We can continue another time. So anyway, at 1 a.m. that night, he told me to leave.
Okay.
So I was like, where do I go at 1 a.m. at night? I'm 7 hours drive from my mother's house. I don't have my own car here now. I don't have my drivers. They're all in Nairobi. All my life was in Nairobi. So I haven't come up to where I was before. So anyway, the moment he said that, something in me just said, take all your things. This is your exit.
Leave now.
So I took my suitcase. I was just removing things with their hangers. I was not even counting. I picked everything that was personal to me. Everything. I put it outside. Everything that was personal, I put it outside. I said, God, you know how I'll get out of here. But at 1 a.m., where am I going? I haven't even made friends yet. I don't even know who I can call. There was no Uber call. So now, time is up.
Time is up. Oh my God. But can we have you back? I really want to know how it ended. But we haven't even gotten to the books, which is why you will come back, Grace.
Yes.
That is why you'll come back. Do you promise next week?
Next week?
Yes.
Sawa.
Angalia tumbo kwanza.
And this is when
Sawa.
No,
but at least you've gotten out. You've gotten to a point where you've stepped out.
Yes.
Do you go back in again ama umetoka umeenda? That was it?
Nilitoka kama nimeenda.
Okay.
Okay. He actually paid the ticket, praise God.
Amen. Wow, he knew. I think God
intervened.
Grace, how can people get in touch with you and even buy the book? So This is the book that the inspiration, the story is the inspiration behind this book. Social media handles where the books are stocked. We still have more books,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about them
We'll
next
talk
week.
about them next
Yes.
week. Social media, Shanani Kids, Shanani with CH.
Uh-huh.
Shanani Kids, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then on WhatsApp to SMS and WhatsApp only, 0700 002797. 0700 002797. So you can order the book, or you can call, not call, chat
Yeah.
to ask whatever
Okay.
needs to be said and
Okay.
asked.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grace.
There's so much more.
There's so much, and she is definitely coming back next week, guys. You know, depending.
Barrenness left. Hallelujah.
We're taking a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Full Circle with Muchali.